Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our session for tonight. It's March 21. Would you mind to please invite the others to please join now? Friends, good afternoon, good evening. Hopefully, you're all in good hands as we prepare yourselves for the forthcoming national assessment. Yes, agreed. I'll be sharing to you the result of last night's mock examination. Congratulations to our top three, top four with a score of 96.43. Kopi ko blanca, and creamy. Gentle with the Okay, naririnig niyo po ako, mga kapatid? Hello? Thank you. So we have Lorgen Palomar, 96.43 of Negros Island region, followed by Regina Pablo of Region 2, 96.43. Then Ma'am Miriam Cruz of Region 2, 96.43. Another 96.43, Diol of Bukidnon, Region 10. Then 92.86 scorers, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Angelo of Region 2, Ma'am Raslin Rimando of Region 9, Ma'am LV of Leyte Region 8, and JD of Northern Samar Region 8. Then we have scorers of 89.29. Ma'am Cathy of Region 2, Ma'am Rosalie Basco of Ginoog City Region 10, Ma'am Bernadette of NCR, and Ma'am Presley Jean Maglaus of Bohol Region 7. Then scorers of 85.71. We have Ma'am Mayan Dorothy Torres of Zamboanga Sibugay Region 9. Then Ma'am Janet Madayag of Region 12. Ma'am Lilibet Reyes of Nueva Ecija Region 3. Ma'am Emerita Traces of San Jose Region 3. Ma'am Sandra Clado of Bagumbayan of Bicol Region, Division of Albay. 85.71, Ma'am Mary Jane Anonical of NCR. 85.71. Ma'am Riza Mendoza of Region 2, 85.71. Ma'am Jane of Isabela, Region 2. Next, we have 82.14 scorers. Ma'am Dalia Seniza of Danao City, Region 7. Congratulations. Then we have Ma'am Joanne Zinampan of Tuguegarao City, Region 2. Ma'am Genevieve de la Cruz of Cagayan, Region 2, 82.14. Another 82.14, Ma'am Virgie of Rizal, Region 4A. Then Ma'am Gemma, 82.14 of Occidental Mindoro, Region 4, Mimaropa. Then we have Jurs of Caloocan, NCR, 82.14. Still passing is 78.57. We have Miralin of Zamboanga del Norte, Region 9. Ma'am Karina of Cotabato, Region 12. Another 78.57, Ma'am Sol of Calabarzon. 78.57, R. Roscoe of 4A. Then Bob of South Cotabato, Region 12. Then Eloisa Agni of Upper Paatan High School, Cotabato, Region 12. We also have scorers Ma'am Annabel Alvarez of Bulacan, Region 3. Then 75, Lon of Cavite 4A. Ma'am Marilyn of Quezon 4A. A of AAA 71.43. Then we have 71.43 Ma'am Rachel Kubit of Tabuk City Car. Still passing is Glenn Hesco of Iloilo. Set of Ifugao Car. Ma'am Miriam Compassion of Bohol. Ma'am Belen of NCR. Okay, then we proceed to 65. 65 is still passing. We have Ma'am Rosalie Basco of Region 10, Ma'am Milani Corporal of Region 5, Ma'am Gloria Bumanglag of Region 2, Aiki Pakibot of Lapu-Lapu City, Region 7, Olympia Manzano of Isabela, Region 2, and Esnagit of Nueva Vizcaya, Leia of Cagayan, CP of Cagayan, Ma'am Mona Lisa of Leyte, and Ma'am Rowena Sumandag of Zamboanga del Sur. Once again, congratulations and thank you for uh, joining on our various activities para naman po hindi masayang ang ating mga pa-activity every night. So once again, congratulations to our top scorers and may you please maintain this until the final leg of the national assessment. Sa mga hindi pa po naka-exam, the examination is still open. No? The link is still open. Five. Five. Document 5. Okay, what is shown on the board is our preliminary mock examination or challenge that will proceed to the discussion for this evening. The first question says, which of the following best describes the primary purpose of vertical alignment in curriculum design? What's the answer? Which of the following best describes the primary purpose of vertical alignment? Letter to connect and ensure that what students learn in one grade level prepares for them for the next grade level. Other answer. Okay, Ma'am Miriam says it's B. What else? Zandi, the storyteller, B. Faye says B. Ma'am Karina, B. Aris, B. Gemma, B. Ma'am May, and B. Sa ating GC, anong answer? Or are your responses? Okay, B as well are surfacing on your message. Okay. Of course, the answer is letter B, no? Connecting and ensuring that what students learn in one grade level is vertically aligned. Okay, pababa, no? Vertical is pababa. From top to down per grade level yon. Yes. Now, item 2. In the department, curriculum guide content standards are primary focuses on or focus on B, B, Ma'am Pia says B, Ma'am Jennifer B, Ma'am Dalia B, Ma'am May and Dorothy B, Yok Oy B, Ma'am Karina Flores says B, Ma'am Raslin says B. Defining the specific knowledge, skills, attitudes that the students must acquire. Okay, so the answer is letter B. You are all correct. Okay, makakapasa na kayo talaga. Next, question 3 or item 3. The performance standards in a curriculum guide are best described as. Okay, answers are surfacing letter B. There says it's letter dog. Ma'am Arceli says it's A. And Jennifer B. Zandi, the storyteller, which one is true? B. Yan. Ma'am May and Dorothy Torres B. Ma'am Faye Canales B. Ma'am Gemma B. Yok Oy B. Ma'am Rachel Yagit B. Ma'am Liza says A. Ma'am Miriam B. Okay, let's find out. Performance standard. Yes, the answer is B. Detailed in the specific actions that the learners must perform. No? The word perform there talks about performance standards. Okay, next, item 4. You're all correct. Which of the following statement about curriculum exit standards or key stage standards, no? C, C, C. Others says B, Ma'am Pia B, Ma'am Jennifer C, Ma'am Rachel C, Ma'am Arceli B, Sir Lordian C, Ma'am Novi C. What about the others? Faye Canales C, Ma'am Liza says C. Gemma C. Sir Zandy Boy. Raslin Boy. The curriculum or key stage standards or exit, ang tawag natin doon ay Ross Palau says B. There's a change in answer by Ma'am Pia. Okay, the answer is C. It describes the ultimate learning goals that the student should achieve within their educational program. Ultimate, kaya nga exit, no? 5. What's the answer? All of the above. Jennifer says B. Rachel D. Okay, is that your final answer? Okay, you are all correct. The answer is all of the above contribute equally to the alignment and measurability. Okay na kayo? Yan. Okay, last night we dwell on domain 3.1 on curriculum, content, and contextualization, most especially on the learning competencies. Now, on domain 3, we will talk about on the teaching standards and pedagogies, a comprehensive review of the K to 10 revised curriculum for the final leg of the DepEd 2026 updated curriculum. So, in the Department of Education, it has provided a robust framework for curriculum design and development to ensure that the students receive the relevant and effective instructions across K to 10. So, the curriculum provides a systematic pathway for all educational levels and subjects, reinforcing the alignment between, of course, the intended curriculum, the implemented curriculum, and the assessed curriculum, which is key in achieving the effective learning outcomes for all students. So remember this three alignment no, of the curriculum or the triangulation of the intended. Intended means these are the planned curriculum. Okay, what curriculum is suited to Filipino learners that is unique and contextualized in our own context in the country. No, because we cannot go away with patterns or tawag dito benchmarking with other countries. Kaya wala tayong originality because we always look into the other countries, how other countries perform, develop, and improve their own level of education. And we owe also to the expertise of others who are also providing us technical assistance in the country. Aminin man natin at hindi ay nagpapatulong tayo sa mga other countries who are actually had been improving a lot when it comes to the implementation of their educational programs and curriculum. And so, in the Philippines or in DepEd, we also have our own contextualized or intended curriculum plan that is embedded, of course, in our curriculum, K to 10. And we have our curriculum guide. Now, the curriculum guide is already the Bible of the K to 10, and that is called intended curriculum. So ito yung nakasuot sa ating mga estudyante sa Pilipinas. Then, kapag ito ay sinagawa na, ginagamit na sa classroom, ang tawag na natin dyan is implemented curriculum. These are already being digested and implemented in their respective classrooms. Okay? And after that, we need to assess. And lagi-lagi at the end of the school year, we conduct national assessment. And even we join the international assessment to look into other lenses of how well we implement the intended, the implemented, and the assessed curriculum. So ganun po yung proseso natin. So in every 10 years, we need to go back. What happened? Baka nagsasayang lang tayo. So kailangan i-revisit natin. So the cycle goes on and on. Now, crucial to this always after the implementation of a curriculum, we have to once again revisit. We do curriculum mapping after 10 years. What happened to the implemented curriculum? Now, this will serve as a vital tool for curriculum developers, administrators, and teachers. It involves the structured process of designing, reviewing, aligning, and improving the curriculum by mapping out what is intended, what are implemented, and assessed across the educational levels. Why do we need to conduct curriculum mapping or review? First, we need to look into the alignment. We have to ensure that what is supposed to be taught aligns what is to be assessed. Kaya nga triangulate. And the transparency. It helps identify what are the gaps, overlapping, redundant curriculum. Ensuring effective delivery. So nakikita natin yan after the implementation, of course. Then, for continuous improvement, curriculum mapping provides teachers with a roadmap for improving educational practices with a focus on student outcomes. So there is no fixed curriculum that we really implement. Instead, it should be keep on changing and revisiting. Pabago-bago ang mundo, pabago-bago ang mga bata, iba na naman yung kanilang mga situations ngayon kumpara noon. So we need to cope up with the demands of time. Now, let's look into the very cells, the very blood of the curriculum, and that is the curriculum guide. Will serve as our manual. The curriculum guide is an essential document within the Department of Education that supports the planning, the delivery, and assessment. Parehas yung curriculum na sinasabi natin kanina. The intended, the implemented, and the assessed. From kindergarten yan to grade 10. There is also a separate for the grade 12 and grade 11 or the senior high school. So the guide ensures that the learning standards and objectives are aligned, coherent, and progressive across all grade levels and subject areas. So the very purpose of this manual is to provide a detailed understanding of the components inside the curriculum guide and how they function within the K to 10 revised curriculum. So this include the expanded discussions of the components of the curriculum mapping, okay, both on its horizontal and vertical alignment, and the essential elements that guide the teaching and learning. Now, let's better understand what are being conducted or done during curriculum mapping. In curriculum mapping, there is a structured, systematic process that helps the teachers, schools, and education administrators to design, align, and improve the curriculum. It ensures that there is consistency between what is implemented, what is intended, and what's assessed. Curriculum mapping provides a roadmap for the effective delivery of content while promoting continuous improvement and ensuring students' progress. Yan yung ever expanded no purposes of why we need to review and map out what happened to the curriculum being implemented each year. No? Lalong-lalo na yung mga nag-pilot schools, lagi nating hinahanapan sila ng kanilang mga results, what went well and what went not in the implementation of the curriculum guide before it will serve to all the mass implementers across the country. So kawawa talaga yung mga pilot schools natin, no? Because they have to experience first the curriculum content before it will be given to you. No? Now, the horizontal and vertical alignment. Let's discuss what is horizontal alignment and what is vertical alignment. At anong ginamit natin ngayon sa K to 10. No? In horizontal alignment, inilalatag ang ating curriculum guide based on consistency and coherence of the curriculum across different subjects. Yan. Kapag subjects ang inilatag sa curriculum guide at yun ang binigyang diin, ang tawag sa curriculum mapping na yan ay horizontal alignment. No? Remember this. The curriculum is set across different subjects within the same grade level. So it ensures that the subjects are connected in meaningful way and that the students are not being overloaded with conflicting or redundant content. So kapag minamap, ano yung mga repeated topics na maring ginamit ng isang particular na learning area. No? Baka nauulit-ulit lang. Especially in Filipino and in araling panlipunan. No? Even in science where there is disciplinary and non-disciplinary or by spiral. Examples of horizontal alignment. In grade 3, students are learning about ecosystems in science. This concept can be reinforced in their English subject through reading comprehension exercises related to environmental issues, and in mathematics through data analysis on animal populations. So this ensures that the learning experience across all subjects are interconnected and reinforced from the different perspectives. Okay, for vertical alignment, in the vertical alignment, it ensures that the curriculum builds progressively. Okay, builds progressively from one grade level to the next. So ang emphasis ng vertical alignment then is grade level to the next. So each grade level's curriculum builds upon the knowledge and skills acquired in the previous grades, ensuring that the learning is continuous and that students are adequately prepared for the next level. So examples of vertical alignment is in grade 1, students are introduced in basic literacy skills such as recognizing and writing simple words. Then in grade 2, students are expected to read more complex sentences. And in grade 3, they should be able to comprehend short passages. So the progression builds upon the foundational literacy skills year after year. So what do you think is the alignment or the mapping out of our curriculum? Is it vertical, horizontal, or both? Sir, answer? Yes. Okay, we use both, no? Because we separate, of course, the horizontal, then we have the vertical. Pag titingnan niyo yung curriculum guide, dalawa yung pagkalatag nito, inilalatag ito by learning area or by grade level. Then, sunod ang vertical alignment in progression. No? So, dalawa. Dalawa yung map out ng ating curriculum guide. Now, when we open one curriculum guide over the others, we look into the various contents. No, the curriculum guide is always serving as the foundation for what is taught and assessed in the classroom. It ensures that all the learning objectives, content, and assessments are well defined and coherent across the grade levels. Now, when we look into the hierarchy content of the curriculum guide, it will always be at the very top portion, nag-a-appear ang exit, no? The core exit or the key stage exit standards. Ano yung matatapos at the end of every key stages? How many key stages again? We have 4. Key stage 1, key stage 2, key stage 3, and key stage 4. So in the exits, these are broad overarching or overarching competencies that the students must demonstrate by the end of a specific grade level or education cycle. So these standards reflect the ultimate goals of the curriculum. What's the purpose of the exit? Okay, it provides the long-term vision of what students should be able to demonstrate and what they need to finish after their schooling. So they serve as the end goal of learning and guide educational planning across all grade levels. Example, by the end of the basic education, learners should demonstrate scientific literacy and global awareness which reflects to their ability to understand, apply, and communicate scientific concepts in global discussions. Hello, Ma'am Iris. Thank you very much. Now, after the key stage standards, we move on to the grade level standards. No? The grade level standards will outline or outlines the specific learning goals and competencies that the students are expected to achieve by the end of a particular grade level. So these standards are set by pacing and depth of learning from each grade. What's the purpose of grade level standards? These standards ensure that teaching is appropriate for developmental stage of these learners. Okay. So by grade level, there are developmental stages or developmentally appropriate practices that they need to learn within that particular grade level. So they also help teachers focus on to their most important content that they need to master within their grade level. Example, but the concrete example will be, of course, by reading the entire curriculum guide. No, so example here is in grade 1, students should be able to recognize and produce simple written sentences. In grade 3, students are expected to apply the literacy skills and in reading and writing longer text. Remember that this is the end goal, no? And after that end goal, there are sub competencies or napag-aralan na natin kagabi yung mga essential skills, enduring competencies na sinasabi natin, no? But in the end, the core focus should they should know and recognize and produce simple written sentences. Kayang-kaya na yan ng grade 1, no? Simple sentence. For grade 3 naman, literacy skills in reading and writing for longer text. Okay. After the grade level standards, we narrow down to the two types of standards. We have the content standards and the performance standards. Okay? Remember the hierarchy? Baka tanungin sa NAS natin yung hierarchical. Okay? For content standards, this describes the core knowledge and skills that students must acquire in each subject area. The standards define what students must know and be able to do in their learning area, no? So kapag ang ina-answer niya ay what, ang tawag diyan ay content. So content are core knowledge and skills. The purpose of content standard ensures that the curriculum covers all the essential topics and that the learning process is consistent across schools. So they define the breadth of learning for each subject. No? Examples in mathematics, the content standard might include mastering the basic arithmetic operations, understanding geometry, and applying data analysis in real world situations. During the writing of the DLL and DLP, these content standards are actually verbatimly written, no? And copied. Hindi pwedeng gagawa si teacher ng kanyang sariling content standards. This should be verbatimly stated across the weeks of their DLP. Kinokopya lang to, no? Same true with the performance standards. If you talk about the root word perform, no? It specifies the level of mastery that the students should demonstrate in performing tasks or activities. So these standards define the quality of student work and help evaluate whether the learning objectives have been achieved. So the purpose here is ensuring that the students not only understand the concept from the content standards, but also apply their knowledge and skills effectively. No? They are essentials for determining the assessment criteria and the grading standards. And example, in science, students must be able to conduct experiments independently and present their findings in a structured report demonstrating both practical and conceptual understanding. So it's very nice that along with understanding of content, there should be performance tasks. Okay? These performance tasks are actually found in the grading standards. How well they perform in a specific skills that they learn from the content. So it's a no-no in a class that they should not be conducting collaborative works or group activity or tawag doon, team-based activity or group work and an independent activity because this will showcase their understanding of what they have been learned. Okay? Sa isang DLP or DLL, lagi-lagi dapat na merong performance task. Now, after the two standards, content and performance, we move on to the next part. Okay, in its vertical alignment is the learning competencies or the learning outcomes. Ang learning competencies ba nakalagay pa rin sa CG? Verbatimly or not? Tanong. Yes. Okay, verbatim dapat ang mga learning competencies. These are non-negotiable, no? And they should not be removed or erased or being rewarded by the teachers. Bawal na bawal po yun, no? These are non-negotiable and they have to teach the learning competencies or the learning outcomes. The learning competencies are very explicitly stated, no, or specific. There are also measurable behaviors to demonstrate whether a student has mastered a certain skill or concept. So these competencies break down the content into manageable learning units that are assessed over time. So the purpose of learning competencies is to act as the building blocks for the achievement of content standards and the performance standards. So they guide the teachers in delivering focused lessons and help assess student progress throughout the school year. And these content competencies or learning competencies are being subdivided into quarters. Pero ngayong trimester ay instead of 4 quarters, it will now be trimmed down into 3 terms. Term 1, Term 2, and Term 3. But the good news is there will be no addition or subtraction of these learning competencies. They remain to be the same, but only they will be subdivided into 3 terms. Yan. Example of a learning competency, classify types of matter based on physical and chemical properties. Now, what about a learning objectives? Are the learning objectives verbatimly stated as well in the curriculum guide? Tanong, are the learning objectives verbatimly stated in the CG? Yes ba? Yes po, matutuloy. Okay, not necessarily that the learning objectives are explicitly stated. No, if the learning competencies is too small or too narrow na or too brief or very specific na siya, hindi mo na siya i-turn down into sub-competencies. Ang tawag kasi sa mga broken pieces of competencies called learning objectives. So kung ito ay okay na, specific, hindi mo na siya mahimay-himay or you can no longer break down into sub-competencies, siya na talaga. No? You can copy and toto the competencies to form as learning objectives. Pero kung hindi, too broad siya, no? Uh, tawag diyan ay high level, no? Or may term tayo high level of cognitive demands, no? That the term. High level of cognitive demands, itong learning competencies nito, kailangan itong i-subdivide, no? Ang subdivisions of the competencies is called learning. Oh yes, tama. Na-unpack. Ang tawag diyan ay learning objectives. Yan. Kaya tayo nag-unpack dahil wala po siya doon sa curriculum guide. Kaya ini-revisit natin na tingnan kung ang competency ba ay too broad or too high in cognitive demands, therefore we have to unpack it. Pero kapag okay na siya, bite size na siya, pwede nang kainin into bite size, then it will remain and retain as it is. Okay? So yun yung sagot na are all the objectives stated in the curriculum guide? Ang sagot ay, anong sagot ulit? Yes, not necessarily stated or explicitly indicated. So please, school heads, kapag may nailagay na objectives na wala, huwag niyong hanapin dahil totoo naman na kapag learning objectives ay maaring wala na sa curriculum guide. Pero ang nanay niya ay nasa learning competencies. Ha? Sabihin nyo, oh, saan mo kinuha ito? Hindi ito nakalagay sa CG. My goodness, kumuha ka ng sarili mong objectives. Hindi po. So kaya nga ang DLL dapat nandun yung learning competencies, nasa baba niya ang learning objectives. Dahil ang day-to-day lessons ay nakalagay sa learning objectives, hindi competencies. Gets na natin, ha? Now, we have the summary of the hierarchical grade level or exit standards followed by the grade level standards, and the grade level standards na narrow into dalawang anak, that the content and the performance, at si content and performance ang mga anak niya ay si learning competencies. Ang anak ni learning competencies ay learning objectives. Ang learning objectives ay nahimay siya sa Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Yan. Si learning competencies maaring week-long competency siya. Week-long. At si learning objectives naman, ito yung day-to-day activity objectives. Para maging concrete at standards ang mga learning objectives, ito ay inilalagay natin sa BAW or sa budget of work na unpack and clustered competencies na. Or kung wala naman, isinusulat ito doon sa ating DLP or sa mga lesson guides or exemplars, isinusulat siya baba ng learning competencies. Okay? Once again, the importance of curriculum guide. It is the backbone of the DepEd's teaching framework, ensuring that teaching, learning, and assessments are aligned and comprehensive across grade levels. By adhering to these standards, DepEd ensures that the students receive consistent, progressive, and cohesive education that prepares them for the future. Through curriculum mapping, vertical and horizontal alignment are achieved, allowing for continuous educational progression while ensuring a coherence across subjects and grades. Kaya nga ang gusto natin ay walang segmentations, tuloy-tuloy ang progression, yan. Walang divisions. The curriculum guide not only sets for the foundation of what is taught, but also provides the clear pathways for assessment, ensuring that the learning outcomes are accurately evaluated. Okay, natapos na natin ito kagabi, no? Okay, let's just break for a moment. I'll be looking into test item materials for tonight. Then I'll be sharing this. Please provide me a minute or two to find the assessment. Okay, nasa link na po ang ating exam. You have 30 minutes to answer sa mga nagtatanong po ng mock test. Please join our GC. Ma'am Esther Mahilay. Ano po yung pangalan niyo sa Messenger? Ma'am Esther, patype po yung pangalan niyo. Okay, pasend po yung mga pangalan niyo. Sana po ay hindi po kayo naka-personal lock profile. Type nyo na lamang po dyan. Anyway, mabubura po after na matapos itong sessions natin. Lahat po ng comments ito ay mabubura. Hindi po masasave. Kaya safe po yung mga pangalan nyo. Iris V. Cortad. Iris V. Cortad. V. Cortado. Iris V. Cortado. Etak. Etak. No user selected. Ma'am Iris, ayaw pong magpakita. Irish V. Cortado. Etak. Kayo po ba yung nakaside yung ulo? Nakatilt? Ma'am Iris, kayo ba yung nakatagilid yung ulo sa profile pic? Pakilagay po anong itsura po ng profile pic ninyo. Anong kulay ng damit, ano pong nasa background nyo, ganun po. Dorothy Ann. Si Ma'am Dorothy kagabi pa. Doro. T-H-A-N-N. Nakatoga. Yung ikaw ba may yellow, red, ganun? Nakalock profile ata kayo mga kapatid. Ma'am Dorothy, wala pong nakatoga. Mga nagpapakita po eh. Sir Andrew Santos, ano pong profile pic? Ma'am Esther Mahinay, ano pong mga messenger niyo? Nakatoga na blue na may yellow. Ayan. Ito. Okay, ma'am. I-add kita. Then, tingnan ko kung ikaw ba yan. Hello, Ma'am Dorothy. Ma'am, pa-check kung ikaw po yon. Na-add na po kayo sa GC. Mag-like lang po kayo. Esther Islo. Esther Islo ang profile pic yung pagsikat ng araw. Sige po. Ito po. Okay po, Ma'am Esther. Ma'am Esther, okay na. Dorothy. Dorothy. 9421459. Okay. Okay na ma'am. Yung may blue ka pala na toga. Ay, may sinasabi. Cannot be able to add. Sabi niya. The profile cannot be able to add. Magpatulong nga tayo sa mga nandito sa member na po ng DepEd School Head. Paki-add nga si Ma'am Dorothy kung okay sa inyo. Parang sa akin ayaw. Si Ma'am Liza Raga, ano pong profile pic? Liza Raga. Oh ma'am, cannot be add. Tingnan natin yung mga kasamahan kung may i-add po kayo. Ma'am Liza Raga, ikaw po ba yung green background? I-message ko na lang po. Paki-add si Ma'am Doro Dorothy.an. 942145 942145. Yes, Ma'am Liza Raga. Yan po ba yung green? Liza. Marami po kasing Liza Raga, ma'am. Batang lalaki. Batang lalaki. Yung may nakasirkel po ba na blue and red? Siya ba to? Ma'am Esther, nandun ka na po sa GC. Nag-welcome Ma'am Esther na po ako. Paki-check. Ma'am Lisa, ikaw po ba yung nandun? Paki-comment kasi nag-greet po ako sa GC kung ikaw po yun. Okay. Siya nga. Sa labas. Siya. Eh,
Hindi, sa labas. Nanalo na naman ako. I- Itong nilalaro ko, oh, papalit-palit. Nanalo ng 500. Butterfly blossom. Uy, butterfly blossom, maganda. Yan lang pinapalit ko, tapos sila. Lamang sa akin. Ano lamang pati?
Okay, it's already 9. There are already submissions. Naka 16 na ang submissions natin. So tomorrow we'll be revealing the scores. Once again, thank you very much for your time shared for tonight's session. See you again next meeting. Bye-bye po.